Empower, support, love. That's true beauty.
Allowing God to use me to inspire others.
She is clothed with strength and dignity.
Welcome to Sis To Sis. Hey, y'all. Did y'all miss us? Because we sure missed you. Look, tune in, watch, like, subscribe to our channel. YouTube channel is Sis To Sis 1988. Also follow us on our social media platform, Sis To Sis 1988. We look forward to y'all grabbing on and joining into our audience. We have a second guest today. Black girl magic.
All right.
Fill in the room, y'all.
Fill in the room. Second power. Go take it back to math class. Look here. Miss Tahira, beautiful. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do you mind if I tell these folk who you are?
Sure. And thank you for having me also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's tell y'all about Miss Tahira, okay? Miss Tahira, she is a therapist. She's a licensed clinical social work supervisor. She is a certified clinical trauma specialist. She's a certified life coach as well as a certified wellness coach. Them letters that go behind her name, I don't think it's no more room on the card.
We can go on for days.
Okay.
Right.
Educated Black woman. Thank you. Thank you for what you have done, what you will do. Thank you for joining our show today. So what we're wanting from you today, with our subject being about social media, the good, the bad, the advantages and the disadvantages, we're going to want you to kind of focus on the mental health part of social media. I think you would agree social media does play a big role in millennial lives today. Not the older generation, but for us. As Ms. Tasha stated, it's making people millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
People are becoming millionaires with social media. So if you don't mind, we're going to let you chime in and get things started.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I start, I want to say congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you.
In regards to the mental health aspect, you kind of have to know what you're using social media for. So in Tasha's instance, she's using it for her business. So in that case, it is very profitable. Mm-hmm. It is positive. It makes her feel good. You have to kind of sit back and decide, am I using this for the emotional connection? Am I using this to profit, to market? Okay. And when we talk about mental health, it is, if we have that strong emotional connection to social media, it's kind of where we run into trouble. Mm-hmm. And so if I base my value or my sense of self-worth on how many people like or how many people engage, then of course it's going to have a negative effect on how I feel, my mood, my affect, increase in depressive symptoms, anxiety. We hear about that so much. So it's going to increase that level of anxiety when you are looking for social media to validate. I'm getting up in the morning and I'm looking on social media, and if no one's engaged with me, then that's going to affect how my day goes. And that's going to affect how I interact with others. It might affect how my productivity at work. Mm-hmm. You know, my students at UTA also, they come to me on the side. They'll send emails, and you talk to them and you get to know them. Social media always comes up.
It runs the world.
Students, my clients in my practice, it always comes up. So just be mindful of what you're using it for. That's the most important thing.
Okay. Yeah. I was so
because I have heard people say they are in the mood because, oh, she didn't like my picture today, or are they mad at me? Why come they like this one, they didn't like that one? They value so much what other people think about their pictures, their photos, what they're doing. And if you're not getting that, it's like it really does mess them up mentally. Yes. So it affects everything.
Mm-hmm. And the platform started to remove or give you the option to show how many people like your posts.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. Mm. So for people who struggle with that, it's a great thing to activate that option because you don't focus on how many people have liked your post or not. Mm-hmm. And so it takes away that element of what everything you just said in that sense.
Yeah, one one of the things that always have bothered me is, you know how you having a good day, so people take selfies. So you looking cute today, so I'm gonna take a picture of myself, and you post it, but you get a negative comment, like somebody says something about your hair or your outfit, and you never know where that person is mentally. And so that one little comment could push them over the edge alone by itself. So that's one of the things that I don't like about it. Just because you can comment don't mean that you should comment on something.
But people do.
And they do. And like you had said earlier, just because people feel like you put it out there, they feel like they can do it. And
They
so
have the right to.
right. But you never know what you're doing to that person.
I think she has about 3 million followers on TikTok or something. She posted a video saying, it was a video of her kind of walking. It's her birthday, and she said, "Do I look 42?" And they ate her up in them comments, baby. Somebody said, "Your neck look 53."
Oh my God!
Can you imagine? And it had 7,000 comments. I'm gonna show y'all when we get off.
Oh wow!
She literally was like, "If I was so when you're at that height of social media, when you have that many followers." You cannot read the comments.
Correct.
That's my biggest suggestion.
I would agree with that
Do
one.
not read the comments because you have people that intentionally get up under your post to get under your skin.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it was so many people saying, yeah, your body looked 30, but your face looked 80. Like, it was terrible. I was like, you know what? This is how people end up.
That's our world.
Yeah.
This is us.
It is.
This is us. On the business aspect, now what I'm finding when I'm trying to market for a position I'm hiring for, scam. I'm so sick of people getting at the bottom of my post saying this is a scam. But that's the world we live in.
Absolutely.
How many
scam because what?
a job posting out? Let's just say for one of the trucking jobs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Something like that.
Absolutely.
It's a scam. This don't sound right.
Oh, okay.
It's
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. Or that ain't enough. Going back to what Toya said. Don't make a comment. You really took the time. I got paragraphs like this trying to tell me that it's a scam. I'm just like, this is, but how many news feeds have you saw where the SWAT team busting in on somebody that's had a social media fake something, fake class, or if you give me 3,000, I can get you 10,000. All that.
So
kind
it makes
of
it
stuff.
hard for people.
It make it hard when you are trying to use legit. So many people that need a job. We are still in a pandemic. There's so many people that need a job, and I can't. They're going to turn away because guess what? Those folks that seeing that post, they're gonna read those comments. Oh, it might be a scam. No, it's not, baby. Please apply if you need the job.
And piggybacking kind of, and I'm sorry, but piggybacking kind of on what you were saying, social media can also be used to network, to bring awareness, to develop a support system. Because if you think about mental health, it was taboo, especially in our culture. It was taboo, and now it's not a shameful thing to have a therapist.
No, it's not.
No.
Right, and so the awareness, the mental health awareness that we attain through social media is very important.
Definitely.
We talk now, having depressive symptoms or anxiety, it doesn't make you crazy, which is a word that I do not like. So there's not a stigma attached to reaching out for mental health awareness and also having that support. There are, sites or people's social media that bring about awareness and bring about that level of comfort to say, hey, you are not alone.
Right.
You are not alone. So I think that's important. So kind of talking about the awareness of, hey, jobs are available and things of that nature.
Yes.
It's just, you can develop community. You just have to be mindful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I find myself tiresome. I just told myself here yesterday, I go through and you can hide the comment. That's so tiresome. It'd be so many. It'd be more of those than the ones that are interested. And I'm just like, I can't do it no more. I just gonna have to leave that alone and let them be. But I feel like the people that would have applied through whatever link I posted, they're not going to because
they're deterred by
those comments.
And they do read the comments.
Yeah,
everybody
read the
does.
comments.
But one thing with that too that I don't like is the fact that social media made it easy for people to hide behind the screen.
Oh, absolutely.
So they strong now. They
I call them keyboard ninjas.
they brave. they brave now because there's
Yeah.
certain things that they can say online they would never say to your
To
face.
your face.
Yeah.
Never say to your face, but
Mhm.
all of a sudden they feel big and tall. I can say it online and not kickback for it. So it just that also bring on the bullying because they can
It
just do and say what they want to, do and say.
And I'm gonna reflect that back to the youth. Back when we were in school, if you were a kid that got bullied, it only happened at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fought it
Those
out.
kids
Yeah.
now, these kids now, they get it at school, and then now they
And
get
it's
it
online.
Yeah.
At home is
It's
They
online.
not built. They not built.
And
the
they're
same.
not. The
They're
children are
not.
built.
They're
as well.
not.
You swing it out or not.
Yes.
What the old folks say: "Show me what you got, or keep it on moving." I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. If you ain't gonna show it, but it's not like that. And I say this: a big thing for me for social media is the live feed. I think the other
Yeah.
so
It's
Facebook is
dangerous,
the only
yeah.
one. The other social media platforms, TikTok and Instagram, I think it's timed. You can't be on there for 2 hours like you can go on Facebook and
Correct.
be live.
Correct.
And I think that's been that. How many domestic abuse
Oh my
things have we
goodness.
seen?
Mhm.
Suicides, or just straight out
Killing
killing
Yeah.
online, and it's not stopped. They can tape as long as they want,
Right.
and by the time Facebook
Catches
staff catches it, millions of people that have already seen that.
Right.
That's my thing, and that's when that mental health. I'm just like, a baby doesn't. What if your 10-year-old or something is watching it? You don't mean for them to see that, but it was in the feed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And now that baby, you don't know what's gonna. Oh my
Kids
God!
are being exposed to things
Yeah.
they weren't exposed to.
Yeah. I haven't heard the word anxiety so much in my life.
Oh yeah.
Right.
When
True.
it comes to kids,
Mhm.
I don't
Until
remember
recent
growing up
times,
hearing
current
those
times,
words.
yeah.
When it came to us being stressed or whatever.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
definitely.
We didn't use the word
Yeah.
anxiety.
I don't even know what that was back then, to be honest.
Right.
You were.
You
I was
were,
definitely.
but we
I
didn't-
we didn't know what that was.
We didn't know what
I
that
didn't know what that was
No.
back then.
But
I don't-
now it's a textbook definition.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
having
as
anxiety.
a professional, I'm glad that the awareness
Yes.
is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, when you think about, generations past, if you were afraid to go to school or you had anxiety or you were feeling the physical symptoms of anxiety, mom and dad say, hey, go to school.
You better choke
You
it
know,
up.
Anyway, right.
These
Yeah.
days, you can allow your child, if they're having an anxiety or panic attack, you can allow them to have that mental health day. You can
Yes.
communicate with the teacher. So I appreciate that we are using the language.
Yes.
Now, is it overused sometimes? Yes.
Absolutely.
However, be aware that as human beings, we are all going to experience a certain level of anxiety.
Yes.
It is just how we manage the symptoms and how it affects our day-to-day living.
Right.
So yes, while we hear a lot of it, the awareness is important.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
very
Even in the
important.
military,
Especially-
they shifted.
and especially in our Black community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
They
My
shifted a
babies.
lot in the military too, because I remember when I went through basic training, we didn't have phones, we didn't have none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now in the military, if you feel stressed, you can pull a stress card.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, what's a stress
So
card?
it's
You
going back
literally
to
can
awareness.
say, back to
Her
awareness.
awareness.
Back
I'm
to
glad-
awareness.
I appreciate them for
I
that.
absolutely
Y'all are out
appreciate
there
it.
fighting for the
Yeah.
country.
I
want you to
absolutely
have
appreciate
bigger-
it. We didn't have that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't have that. So it literally is like the drill sergeant could get this close in your face,
Mhm.
literally spit, screaming at you, and you had to stand there and take it. I can't tell you how many people I saw break down. But now they have the stress card. We didn't have that.
Oh, that's
Wow.
good.
So I see a shift for the better when it comes to mental health
Yeah.
in different fields, not just social media.
Yes.
Yeah, it's important. And lastly, you talked earlier about kind of the things that we see that are traumatic, domestic violence and things of that nature. We become desensitized, and it's important to recognize how much of that you're ingesting, you're allowing yourself to process, because
Yes.
that doesn't stop. My daughter just the other day told me about a video where a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old were playing with a gun, and the 14-year-old
Yes.
shot the 12-year-old and then got so afraid that she shot herself. Now, my daughter saw this before she's about to go to school for the day.
Oh, wow.
So could you imagine, she said it bothered her for the rest of the day. That being said, because two things can exist, it didn't traumatize her in a way that it seemed like it should, because
Yes,
seeing
right.
that live. So we as a society, we as individuals, we have become so desensitized to the
Yeah,
things
I
that
agree
we
with
see.
that
So
Yeah.
it's just be very mindful of how much of the social media that you're ingesting.
And I watch First 48 like Scooby Doo. So I mean, like stuff like that.
Unfortunately, I do.
I'm a crime scene buff and all that too.
Yeah.
So and it's changed. I mean, like the amount of stuff they show on
Yes.
That part. That is what's
And you know what? On
They
TV,
show it all now.
everything.
remember
They
back
do.
in the day when
They used to blur it.
No,
Yeah.
but you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
back
They
in the
did.
day, we used to didn't have that little thing in the corner, G rated,
Yeah.
nudity, this and that.
Now
We didn't
all
even have
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They had that, but what you putting there? What you putting
Yeah,
there?
because
for?
you still
They
gonna
gonna
put it
show
on.
it.
You're gonna
Yeah.
show
Yeah,
it.
they
What you
gonna
putting
show
it
it.
on there for? I know you're trying to give a warning to a parent, but I think parents, back when I was growing up, if that type of scene was about to happen on a movie, we had to leave the room.
Yeah, you had to.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
Had to. It don't happen no more.
Now you have it
They didn't
here.
play that.
Now you have it here.
It's
in
on
the
their
palm of
phone.
your hand.
And look how many young kids live on YouTube.
Yep.
They can
And
they can
and-
maneuver
and-
it better than
and-
me.
And TikTok. My
Yes.
son,
Yeah.
I mean, I ask him all the time, what are you doing in there? I'm watching TikTok. They live on TikTok.
Yeah, they do.
All the time. It's just
And
scrolling.
you-
I mean, for
you will
hours,
not-
hours, literally.
And if you got yourself on TikTok and started to scroll, you would let him stay on TikTok.
Mm.
Because the amount of stuff they're exposed to. Now it's good stuff, don't get me wrong. The business tips, all
Yes.
that stuff, amazing stuff. But then it's the other
The
stuff.
other
Yes.
stuff is other
Where
side as well.
that's the voice that they're listening to.
Yes, right.
And
correct.
it's like kids are trying out burning themselves and
Yeah.
all that
All the
stuff.
stupid
It's
challenges.
all kinds of challenges that
Man. Okay.
listen.
Dang.
Well, look, Mr. Hero, we're gonna have some questions for you that Miss Toya is gonna ask.
Okay.
You've given us so much already. We want a little
Just a
bit
few
more.
more. Just a little bit more.
Okay. Okay.
So do you feel that social media cause conflicts in personal relationships, personal or professional?
Yeah, of
Relationship.
course. They have the potential to cause conflicts when you think about how we engage. If we're talking about romantic relationship, what can my partner look at? What can my partner engage in? So that, of course, they can cause conflict in personal relationships. Again, go back to why are we using it?
Mhm.
Professional, you have to know that your potential employer, business partner, whoever, they're going to look, they're going to search. And so your social media,
I'm laughing because I'm guilty of that.
can be the deciding factor of whether or not
They do
You-
business with you.
you get
Yeah,
you get
that's
what Miss
right.
Tasha here has, so
right.
or whether or not you're successful. So just be mindful. We were talking earlier, and I asked for my social media not to be mentioned because as a therapist, I would like for the professional boundary between myself and my clients to
Okay.
remain intact.
Right.
And so if you have clients and even my students, my university students, that boundary has to remain
Yeah.
intact. So
Right.
you have to be aware. So definitely it can affect your personal and professional relationships.
What about like self-image? Do you think like a person like compare themselves to what they see on social media, like that affects them mentally, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
do you see a lot of that?
I see a lot of that in my practice. I see a lot of that, with dating apps, social media, things of that nature, because you are comparing, social media, you hate to say it, it's kind of designed for the individual to say, what am I not doing? What do I need to do better?
Okay.
I'll say this, social media and the drug game are the only two areas in which consumers are called users.
Okay.
So we use drugs and we use social media.
Mm.
So that is the addictive quality of social media. Nowhere
It's like
else.
a drug.
Nowhere
It's
else
like a
are
drug.
we called users.
Let me ask
Sure.
something. What is the difference?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
agree. I have. They don't have a social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Personal, I do. What is the difference between me and the next person? Because I'm not on it like that, posting like that. Do I have something that they don't have? What is going on? Why don't I feel the need to want to
Be on social media
like that?
Your personal boundaries, your
Yeah,
sense of
you said
self-worth,
Right.
your self-esteem, self-worth, self-efficacy, your personal relationships, your professional relationships. Put it plainly, you have something going on outside of social
That's
media.
got to be
Because
yeah,
social
that's
media
got-
is
I'm
not
thinking-
a real place. Like we treat social media like it's a
Virtual
place,
reality.
a destination, and it's
virtual
not.
maturity.
We have become less engaged
Mhm.
on this level, face to face.
Right.
And so
Right.
when you have those other aspects of your life, the need to actually
less.
be, it is 100%.
I agree.
Okay. It's because I was like, is it me? I'm on there, but I don't feel the need to have to be on it. I ain't been on it all day today.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Yeah.
But I think it's so easy to get sucked in though.
It
Because
is.
honestly, I don't have a personal
It is
presence. I
easy.
don't. But even when I get onto our business page, our Sis To Sis, and I'm getting on there, I scroll. Sometimes I have to say, okay, Calandra, that's enough. cut it off.
But you have the capability of doing it.
You know how to turn it off.
You
Yes.
know how to do
Some people
it.
You
don't.
can easily get sucked so easily.
I can scroll for hours.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Hours and hours and hours. Like the song. Just hours and hours and hours. I'm sitting
like
over
that
there
with
just scrolling. And by the time I look up, it's nighttime.
Right, correct. I'm like, okay, Clint, that is enough. Get your butt off of here.
I don't know.
But it's
It's
so
terrible.
easy to get sucked in.
It's
So
terrible.
easy.
But I have had a coworker tell me, she said the first thing she do when she roll over in the morning before she brush her teeth is check her social media page.
She don't pray first. Oh Lord.
No, baby, you gotta check your page. See how many new likes you got. See
I don't
who
know
look at
about
your
that. Now I am.
Wow.
But you got
I do
people
check
that
my
they're
social
addicted.
media.
This is a business for you.
Yeah,
business.
right.
We
So
can't
it's a
use
little
you.
different.
We can't use you.
Yeah.
We're talking about like folks like us. You
That
know
ain't
what I'm
getting paid for it.
And
I
guess
ain't
what?
touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ain't getting paid.
I'm saying this. I probably post more. I post on the business pages, my business pages, but I probably could do a little bit more than, you know what I mean? Because like you say, consistency.
Yeah,
It all goes back to why we're using it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you have a purpose for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because if I was doing 60, I'm sorry,
No.
but if I was making 60,000 a month,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a professor. I wouldn't be a therapist. I'd be
You'd be over there TikTok until you
my auntie would be saying Nancy instead of Amazon. So yeah, there is a difference.
she'd be over there TikTok until she drop.
Yeah, I will learn how to use TikTok 100%.
That's another thing too. We not just saying.
But the funny thing is, what y'all don't understand is this, and I didn't took over her session. I tell people all the time is that the gifts that you have can create that opportunity inside of social media.
All right. So, what advice would you give a person on social media to remove themselves from a stressful situation?
Well, situationally, you kind of have to assess how it affects you. What I like to tell my clients is that at the end of your week on your phone, you can look at your usage. And so what you can do is once you assess your usage and you say, hey, excuse me, I have spent 36 hours this week on social media. You have to step back and say, what else could I have been doing with that time?
Somebody looking a little guilty over here.
These are for little Tasha. These are for the people who don't get paid.
Yes.
No, but I just still need to know.
Yeah. And so when you put it in that perspective, it's just like, could I have created a business? Could I have engaged with my family?
Right.
What could I have been doing with that time? So just kind of assessing that time every once in a while, just kind of doing that
Tasha pulled
check-in.
it up for real.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
her daily average is pretty high.
Oh,
so,
wow.
What is it?
She said she
She gets paid for it.
But
She
you
gets
know,
paid
yeah,
for
she
it.
does
We're
do
gonna give
it.
her an exception because she does.
She does get paid.
I'm
I
gonna
daily
give her an
average was
exception.
21 hours.
Daily average 21 hours.
Daily
There are
average.
only 22
hours
in
in
a
a
day.
day.
That's fine, judge your mama.
Oh,
But
She
that
does
being,
this for a living.
yeah, that
Don't
being
say
said,
And
She
your
doesn't
phone
hold
could be
it.
sitting down. I'm not literally holding my phone for 21 hours.
Correct.
on the
Right.
phone.
Yeah.
So it literally could be your phone is just like going off.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
calculates in that way as well. But yeah, I spend a lot of time.
But that being said, that's a great way to assess
That's
your
good.
social media usage. It's just check in with yourself.
Yeah.
Check
Yeah.
in with the time, and then check in with yourself. Is there something else that I could be doing for me
With my
to
time.
give
Yeah.
me this same level of serotonin and dopamine in my brain that I'm getting from the social media and from the likes? What else can I be doing?
So you're saying find a switch.
You can, yeah.
some folks need to.
Yeah.
Not that
absolutely.
they can. They need to.
Absolutely.
Because like I say, the how can Calandra too get on there and why do we have it and others don't?
Yeah.
Right.
But I have one more thing. So, what would you say to someone who's kind of hesitant with seeking help, like as for a therapist? Because you have a lot of people, especially men, black men, they don't believe in going to therapists, to see a therapist. So, what would you tell them?
Or doctors.
Okay.
Or doctors, but
That
yes.
is true.
So, what would you tell them? What advice would you give a person who's like they think they kind of need it, but they don't want to go through it seeking help?
I would say quiet the external chatter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of our hesitancy in anything is just based on messaging, based on what we're told, based on what we believe. So when you quiet that external chatter and again, check in with yourself and say, hey, it's about me. It's not about you, or what society is going to think. That is the first step. So checking in with yourself, and then just do it. Just try it out. The thing is, sometimes people feel like they have to be married to that one therapist. No, if that therapist is not for you, you don't click, you don't gel. Find someone else. The same thing with the doctor. Find someone else. You are your own greatest asset and advocate. So you take the step. Take the step.
And don't you think, I think people need to start telling themselves, you deserve your happiness.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to stay in your hurt. Who told you that?
That's important.
Right?
Yep.
You deserve to be healed just like anybody
That's
else.
important.
Because whoever you're holding on to, or whatever that situation is, whoever was involved with that, they moving on, they living on. Right?
That's correct.
About that.
That's correct.
Well, they said it's like drinking poison and wishing the other person would die.
Mm-hmm.
Like they done moved on with their life.
Not thinking
But
about
you
it.
dying from the
They
inside
gone.
out.
Yeah. So it's important. It's important. You know, we throw around the word self-care. Self-care it's become so cliche, excuse me. However, it is very important to be self-aware.
Yes, I promote therapy. I do.
Self-aware.
It is nothing wrong with a little couch time, a little therapy
Yeah.
at all.
And we're doing it online now, so it's easy.
Virtual.
You can be on your-
no
you can be on your own
excuse.
time.
Leave your house.
Yeah.
Correct.
No excuse.
And a lot of companies too offer it for free
Yeah, a lot of companies are starting that.
for their employees
Yeah, I've heard that
too.
before.
So
Yeah. We have to do a whole show on that.
Yes,
you gonna come back?
That'll be good.
We invited both of you guys.
Yes.
Y'all are very great.
I think that's
Yeah.
a really good show.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, thank you again for having me.
we were so excited to have both of you.
No,
guys.
we couldn't wait. We couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
And it's been wonderful meeting you.
And
And
you
I'm
as
definitely gonna have to
well.
look you up on social media
Amazing.
Let's drop it again. Not only for Mr. Shahira.
to hear
To Hira. I'm so sorry.
Travel Bae, BAE, the brand.
The
on
brand.
all social media platforms.
That's her.
That's her.
She will show you how to travel for $2. I promise you.
Follow
We're gonna link up.
Absolutely.
Yes, but until next time.
There is strength in sisterhood.
And they're supporting sisterhood.
Bye.
Bye.